Hey, DML coming to you here. Make sure you share the video. You got to share it, especially if you want to see Biden lose this election. You got to share the video. So let me tell you something. A little story here. 4 years ago to this week. 4 years ago to this week. This is the anniversary, the 4-year anniversary. I got fired, pulled off air from the #1 program. I was the #1 program on Newsmax TV. They still haven't found anybody to fill my shoes over there. Yeah. And I got pulled because I was giving the truth about Hillary Clinton. There's some other reasons too, but I won't get into that. But the biggest thing you need to know is that it was because I was exposing Hillary Clinton in many different things, including some of the emails that were in WikiLeaks that people didn't even know about, including some of them that were connected to the CEO of Newsmax and how he was apparently doing a pay-for-play and pretending to be a conservative on the other side. So I got kicked off. So what did I do? I went to the streets because I wanted to make sure that Trump would win that election. I went to the streets. I started this thing called a walk and talk. It went crazy. We had 100 million video plays from the time I started to the time the election was won. You guys came in, liked my page, and the rest has been history. Ever since then, Facebook hasn't been very nice to me. They made sure that they could stifle my growth every way they could. Give you an example. Leading up to the election of 2016, in August, when I did get fired, pulled from live television because I was exposing Hillary, what wound up happening was I had about 250,000 people liking my page. Well, by the time the election came, that number was 1 million. Actually, 1.1 million. Since that time, 4 years later, despite the fact I've had thousands of these kind of videos and tens of thousands of posts on my page, we've had no growth. Facebook has made sure of that. Doesn't matter. We still get the message out, and that's why you need to share. So listen, this is more dangerous, this election, than the last one we had. Far more. I'll tell you why. In the last election, there was this desire to never allow Hillary Clinton. There was actually a hatred for Hillary Clinton. That same hatred is not out there for Joe Biden. But that hatred for Hillary Clinton was one of the reasons why we were able to get so many independents over to vote for Trump. We don't have that. We don't have that this go round. And on top of that, we have a corrupt media that's trying to do everything they possibly can to take down Trump. Just now it's being, put out there, actually in the past 24 hours, that the DA in Manhattan is going to be going after Trump for more than what we thought. And this is speculation in terms of the writings that have been put out there. But apparently, this is based on news reports in the New York Times that now the DA is going after Trump. If that's true, it just says that America is so freaking broken. So here's the deal, okay? Because Facebook didn't realize, Twitter didn't realize how important they were in the victory of Trump. Now they try to pawn that off on the Russians. They try to make it sound like the Russians are the reason why Trump won the election because they put a couple of bogus ads on Facebook that nobody saw. The truth of the matter is, I got the answer. I have a countless number of emails from people who are independents around this country. In fact, I could fill up a book. I can make a whole book of the emails that people sent in to me saying, I wasn't going to vote for Trump, but I didn't like Hillary, and, I couldn't really get into him, But then I listened to you, DML. I listened to people like you, and you guys really stirred me straight. You made me understand that, okay, Trump does have an ego, but I'm going to allow Trump's ego to work for me. And that's what happened. You can't be the president without having an ego. I mean, look at Obama. Obama's ego is the biggest thing since the Grand Canyon. But anyway, getting back to the importance. 4 years ago, we wound up starting a movement here with the walk and talks. Like I said, generated well over 1 million shares, generated well over 100 million plays. And to this day, I still get people who say to me, I watched you during that election. You convinced me that Trump was the right guy. And did I make a mistake? No, I didn't make a mistake. We've had the greatest economy in my lifetime. The single greatest economy, better than Reagan's economy, under President Trump. Has he been perfect? No. Is he a perfect messenger? No, not at all. But that's the perfect thing. See, if he was a perfect messenger, that means he'd be reading off a teleprompter all the time like Obama. You didn't want that. You knew that there were some skeletons in Trump's closet. We all have skeletons. Nobody walks on water. Only one guy has ever done that. His name ain't Trump, and it certainly ain't DML. So with that being in mind, you have to ask yourself, what is Joe Biden gonna do for you? What is he gonna do for you that Trump hasn't already done or could do if he had more time and he had more support? Think about that for a second. That's what you have to ask yourself if you're an independent voter. Even if you can't stand Trump, if you can't stand his interviews, if you don't like his tweets, if you don't find the entertainment value in it, if you don't understand the kind of message he's trying to send out, I get it. Not everybody understands it. Not everybody likes it. Some people like a little more of a Reagan sort of style. That's fine. But I ask you to look past that. I ask you to look at the results. It's like your kids. Let's say, for instance, you have two kids, and one kid is kind of wild and a little bit, I don't know, he's a little fiery, you know what I mean? He's a little fiery, maybe colicky is the word I'm looking for when he was first born. Your other child was sleeping through the night, all pleasant and all. Do you love the one kid more than the other? Just because their personalities were different? No, you love them the same. You love them you love the results that they give you, the love they give you, the family. So that's what I ask you to look. Look past Trump, the personality, if you don't like him. Look at Trump, the results. Look at Trump, the president. You know, he's getting banged unfairly on this whole COVID-19 thing. Let me tell you something. Let me give you a statistic that you won't hear on the mainstream media. You won't even hear it on Fox News. You can't even trust Fox News. You can't trust any of these cable places. In fact, a woman from MSNBC, she was a top producer. She just wrote an open letter. You can get it on my website, or you get it on my app, DML News app. Free. You get it down for free. She just wrote an open letter why she left MSNBC. Because she says the entire environment, not just her place, but all of news, is toxic. And in fact, the words used were, it's a cancer with no cure. And she's got it. She's got it so perfectly right. Here's what the thing is. You don't realize this. Even some of your own favorite hosts, some of your favorite hosts on Fox don't even write their own monologues. They're written for them. And I know this because I come from those back rooms. I know how it works. So listen to this one statistic, right? Why don't we hear anything about this? In the United States of America, based on CDC, this is CDC, the same CDC that's screwing up all the COVID tests. The CDC, right now, you search this on Google, on their website, it will show you that each year, approximately 480,000, that's 500,000, 480,000 people die of cigarette-related smoke or secondhand smoke from cigarettes. Almost 500,000. Why aren't we being told to wear a mask out in public? Because people smoke all the time. Why aren't we seeing government fines handed down to people who don't do their cigarette distancing? Why aren't we seeing those kind of fines? Why aren't we just banning? Why aren't we just banning cigarettes? We know there's nothing good about cigarettes. We know there's nothing good. Except for, of course, you're a tobacco company or a big pharma, then you love it. So why aren't we banning cigarettes? Why aren't we doing more about cracking down on people who don't read the no smoking signs and smoke? I'll tell you why. Because there's a lobbyist behind that. Because at the end of the day, this isn't about saving lives. This isn't about protecting you. The whole COVID mess, as far as I'm concerned, is about one thing, and that is removing this presidency, and that is removing this time in American prosperity, where we could have made America be great again. And that has nothing to do with race. That has nothing to do with ethnicity. It has everything to do about secure borders and good affordable health care and prosperous opportunities, including jobs and business growth, the kind of stuff that we were starting to see under Trump. That was make America great again. So you know what? They want to rip that out. They want to bring it back to where Obama had things, which was an absolute disaster. If you get Biden, you get Obama. And for those of you who are independent voters, let me remind you of what you got with Obama. You got pallets of cash sent to the #1 nation state in terms of harboring terrorists, Iran. You got the running of guns to the Mexican cartels. You got lied to. You were told that you can keep your doctor if you wanted to keep your doctor. That wasn't true, and he knew it when he told you. You were told that Benghazi was the result of some YouTube video that wasn't even watched a couple of hundred times. You were lied to. You were targeted by the IRS if you were indeed a conservative. And isn't it just wonderful to know that the head of the IRS had gone and visited with Obama tens and tens of times. I think it was over 100 times if I remember correctly. Boy, is that coincidental or what? That's the sort of president Biden will be, only worse, because he can't remember his own name. So then whoever he has as the radical that's going to run as his VP, that is odds are favorite for your president. That's right. It's going to be your president. So whoever he picks, if he picks the crazy Kamala Harris, that's your president come time. If you're an independent, is that what you want for your children? Is that what you want for your career? If Biden gets in there, he's going to tax the hell out of you. Right? Every dollar that you're out there making, whether you're making it in a low-end job or whether you're making it because you're richy rich, it doesn't matter. Biden's going to want to grab that money and he's going to want to give out things like reparations just for somebody's skin color. Do you want to work and pay a good portion of your check? Do you want to operate your business, if you're even allowed to operate your business, and give a good portion of your check to somebody because of their skin color or because they entered the country illegally? You want to go giving more aid to other countries? Trump has been cutting back on that, cutting down on that kind of thing. That doesn't mean you're a hater. Doesn't mean you're a racist if that's not what you want to do. You're not a racist if you want to just enhance your own life. You're not a racist if you want the best for your children and your grandchildren. That makes you an American. You're not a bad person if you don't want an illegal laborer to come in and undercut what it is that you could be making. In the state of New Jersey, this week, they're likely to pass a bill that will allow illegal aliens to go out and get professional licenses. We have unprecedented unemployment because of the COVID-19 scandemic. Are you kidding me? We're gonna make Americans, especially youngsters, have to compete with people who aren't subjected to the same sort of taxes that we are? We're gonna have to compete against people who didn't go through the right process in order to get into this great country legally? We're gonna undercut all the great, I should say, immigrants who come into this country the right way? We can't do that. That's what you get with Biden. So maybe you got to hold your nose a little bit with Trump if you don't like him much. Okay, I go back to the kid. You gonna give the kid that wasn't colicky in your family a better birthday present on their first birthday than the kid that was colicky? Is that the kind of person you are? I don't think so. Look past the shortcomings of his personality if that's what you think is there. There are many of us that don't think there's shortcomings. We just think it's his personality. In the way that Obama felt like he had to sing Barry White. Hey, what's going on? That's my family. Check it out. Look at it, I'm doing a walk and talk, girls. Did you get me a bagel?
No.
What? Did you get me a coffee?
No, I got a coffee.
I had nothing. You guys must be voting for Biden. I'll see you later. Who's got girls like I got girls? See what I'm talking about? I'm still gonna love them. They didn't buy me my coffee, but I'm still gonna love them. My son would have bought me a coffee, but I'm not gonna love him more. That's the point. Don't allow the media to dictate who you are. Don't allow them to dictate what it is that's going on. All these nonsense things they're putting in the news, all these scare tactics to try to make you scared into thinking that the new normal is wearing a mask and social distancing and not being able to go up to somebody and shake their hand. You know, the president said something the other day on an interview, which I thought was so fitting, and I'm gonna end on this. The president, what did he say? He was having an interview with this guy named Dave. Dave's a big sports guy. He's got this website everybody loves, at least the youngsters do. So Trump granted him an interview, and they were talking about COVID. And Trump said, you know what? We don't have to worry about the kids going back to school. They've got strong immune systems. They got the stronger immune systems than we do when we get older. And I'm thinking to myself, why aren't I hearing that every single day on pressers? Why am I seeing Dr. Fauci, right, wearing his mask when it's convenient and then going to the Nationals game and not having a mask and rubbing his body against two people on both sides? Why is this? Why is it that we can't, as Americans, see right through that? I know you do, I know I do. If maybe you're questioning it, if you're an independent, think about the nonsense that is. Why do we have a president who is allowed in an interview to talk about how strong immune systems are a great defense, and yet when doctors, licensed doctors, try to get up on social media and do it, they get ripped down? How did that happen? How did it happen that getting a second and third and fourth opinion in medical, health, and science, when did that ever turn out to be a bad thing? If any of these people on social media, the social media gods, if they were to come down with an illness, God forbid, Even though I can't stand what they do every single day, and censoring you and censoring me and playing the games. I don't wish badness on anybody. I don't wish them to be unhealthy. But let's say, for instance, they, God forbid, came down with cancer. Do you think the person who pulled down the videos on Facebook, do you think that they wouldn't go seek a second opinion if some doctor told them he had cancer and they had to remove this or remove that, or only had a couple of weeks to live? I believe these social media companies are at fault for people who are in fact dying. You need to let people get information out. You need to let the message be given on both sides. A plane can't fly with just one wing. A country can't operate with just one message. So I ask you, please, to share this. Please share this. And here's something else, Here's something else you won't see on mainstream television. Not only do I share my family with you, although that seemed staged, it wasn't. They knew I was doing a walk and talk. They pretend like they didn't. But anyway, listen, I've been very fortunate. I worked very hard. Worked for every dime I've made. Made every movie on my own money. Made every movie taking my own life into risk if I was down at the border. Never asked for anything. Always wanted to give. Well, you know what? We started a year ago. My wife actually started a CBD company. And we have become, based on what it is that my manufacturers tell me, we have become one of the top, if not the top selling brand for consumers who just keep on coming back, repeat business over and over and over. People sending us testimonials all day long. And you want to know why that is? Because we would never sell any garbage. We won't put garbage out there. So here's what it is. I am feeling it. They talk about waves. Oh, waves. Well, let me give you a wave of my own. DMLCBD.com/wave. That's DMLCBD.com/wave. You won't find what I'm about to do here on any other website. I'm actually going to give you more items for free than I'm going to try to sell you. And here's why. There's never been a more important time for you to boost that immune system and improve the sleep and diminish the pain and curb the anxiety. Your own president just talked about it. Go there. For every item you buy out of the 3 items that we have there, we give you 2 items for free. So in other words, if you take what I take, and I haven't been sick in 2 years, ever since I've started taking my DML CBD, 2 years ago, I have not been sick one time, not even common cold. My wife hasn't been sick in a year. She started taking CBD about a year ago. Is it by chance? Can we guarantee the same results to you? Nope. But you talk to the customers that are sitting here on this feed right now, and I'll tell you right now, they're gonna say to you, there's nothing like it. There's nothing else like it out there. And who the hell gives away stuff for free like I do? So that's why I want you to keep on, I want you to boost, I want you to be as strong as you possibly can be. I'm still gonna make a buck off it. That's fine. I don't have to make $2 off it. I'm still gonna make a buck off it. So it's a win-win-win. It's a win for me, but it's a bigger win for you because you're going in there and you're getting white on them, and I'm sending you 2 more for free. And you know what? Those 2 free items, if you had to buy them, they exceed what it is that you're paying me for the 1. And so it's a win for all of us. That's the 3rd win. Because you want to know why? This is the time right now when people have to step up and do whatever they can. And this is what I think I can do to help you. I know it's tough right now, financially. It's very tough. And so that's why we're doing our part. So here's the thing. Today's the first day of the walk and talks. We're going to be back. We're going to win this election. We're going to make sure Biden doesn't. We're going to win the Senate. We're going to try to get back that House. We're going to keep on walking and talking. You're going to keep on sharing. And all along, I'm going to keep on giving you as much free stuff as I can while the supplies last. You guys burn me out of the supplies every time. We announced this on teamdml.com on the 1st, August 1st. We were going to run for all August. You bought me out by August 2nd. We just went replenished. Here we go. We got it again. So it's back for you. There you go. DMLCBD.com/wave. And you know what? Share it with your friends. And I don't care if your friends are liberals. I don't care if your friends are independents. I don't care if your friends have a Biden flag. You know, they're an American. They're our neighbor. You know, so anyway, here's my part, giving it to you. That's my wave. DMLCBD.com/wave. The walk and talks are back. We're going to win the election, just like we did last time. 1 share at a time. It's going to be harder this time, but I love the challenge. Nothing's changed except for a little gray in my beard. That's all it is. Till the next time, may God bless you, our troops, our president, this great American experience we're all getting. We're gonna get it back on track. You, me, and Trump. Talk to you soon.